Okay, Eric?
So Sean had something to say first.
Okay. Eugene, so you spoke about, you're the VP of part-time students, right? Mm-hmm. And even Deborah actually spoke up during her speech. She said that she has a lot of connections with the part-time students. I mean, she has a reach to part-time students. So, like, the numbers that we have, and Dean Lipper, you can correct me if I'm wrong, at any given point of time, you have 1,200 students studying at Fordham, and out of this, 70% are full-time students. So you still have a 30%. So 30% comes to like 360, 340, if I'm wrong. And since you take classes in the evening, like probably you have access to maybe students say 40, 50, right? You won't have access to more than that. And what we have done, like, we have tried to coordinate them to emails, but still the number of part-time students that we get any given event is not that great how much we get a full-time student.
Of course.
So how do you plan to tackle such a situation?
Well, like I said, I think it's important we maybe try to offer some more events, when they are more probable to come. I know some guys are working full time. Like John right here, he's told me, maybe making an event on the weekend. I could bring my wife. I'd be much more able to come on a weekend than the next day they got work. You got to remember that. I got to harness that, and like I said, we can get more of them in here. They can start basically acting like alumni that come here all the time. They have the connections. They're in the companies.
Cathy, do you have anything to say on that before I interject with my question? No, just to Eugene. Okay, a lot's been said about the Thursday night networking events, and I'm a firm believer that they are what you make of them. If you're looking to have connections, you can make those connections. That being said, I find them very beneficial. What have you guys done in your initiatives to meet with alumni and to meet with full-time and part-time students to make the connection, especially part-time students who are currently employed? Have you attended Fordham Fridays, and what has been your role in connecting us with the alumni community that you're really pushing us to connect with right now?
I think to get more alumni get involved, first and maybe the easiest thing we can do now is to invite different alumni to go to our happy hour every evening. And since we have a lot of part-time students now studying in Fordham, we can also invite them to go to some of our events. And the most important thing is most of them don't know what's going on in Fordham. And also, for full-time students, some of us may not have that many experience to attend most of the meetings or activities. What I mean is not we don't have time, is we can't really catch opportunities. So I would also like to work on that thing. Try to understand what the student really need to do and really want from the SAC.
What we've done already, for me, I've definitely dragged out a lot of part-timers to some of the Thursday night events. They can attest to that. I've already, Lonnie and I have done stuff like try to put together alumni teams for, and offer it to the part-timers and try to reach out to some alum. They're not easy to get a hold of. That's the story of the night. That's the theme. We just need to find ways to make them easier to get a hold of. But like I said, I feel like we can definitely treat some of the people that already come here like resources, just like you treat an alumni. And it's important that you do that. And some of the problems that we encountered with the alumni is getting up to Rose Hill and then taking the D home. Gets interesting.
Danielle.
Kathy, you just said that it's been a problem reaching out to alumni and part-time students. And as the public relations chairperson, I'm in charge of GSB Insider. And so our lists are actually most of the part-time students and the alumni. So what do you think can be done differently? Because we've already been reaching out to them through email. And you said that's something that you guys would do. So that's already being done. So what would you do differently?
I think for now, first thing we need to complete the alumni database and maybe make some phone calls every week. And some of them are very active to attend all our school events. So maybe they just don't know how to help us better. And some of our part-time students and alumni, they don't check our Fordham email that frequently. So we will find a better way to connect them. Maybe we use all our club's connections, and maybe we can talk to all the professors. They have better resources, and get all the people and body involved. And that's a better way to get out of that, and maybe invite more people and more connections come into Fordham.
So
Oh,
Yeah, please. Okay. So I thought it was interesting the other day, a professor had forwarded me an event from the Rose Hill campus. They had John Hayes, the CMO of Amex, come in. I thought it was absolutely amazing, and it was only made available to undergraduates. Have you guys thought about ways that we can actually connect with our Rose Hill campus colleagues and find ways to pretty much share resources, share alumni, share even access to some of those key people to bring in as speakers?
That's a cool thing. For all the student body, I don't know, but for a small group of people, we do have some online chatting system for us to contact with Rose Hill undergraduate students, and also some of the students here in Lincoln Center campus. We share resources, we share event information, and actually for them, we are also their alumni. So we can think about both ways, how to get them involved and what we can do for them.
I think it's also important to remember that when we're trying to reach out to the alumni or to bring people to go somewhere, it's got to be a little bit mutually beneficial. Especially from where we stand right now. Like the other day, I went to an amazing. It was a lecture by Linehan, and it blew my mind. It was really good, and in my head, I'm thinking, why couldn't we get this to be something that we could open this up to make more available for some of the part-timers or some of the alumni, reach out and have them come to it, because I don't see how they wouldn't have benefited from that. It literally was one of the better lectures I've been to.
Myron?
Yeah, obviously my first question is going to be, do you two have plans to attend our banquet tomorrow? Right now. That's my first question. But my second question is initially directed to Eugene. Cathy, you can answer as well. You made mention in your speech about forming more relationships with the executive MBA program, considering that as of right now, we don't really have a solid relationship with people in that program. Catherine O'Hara, over in career management, is the person who heads that up. So my question to you would be, since that's something that you feel like is of importance, have you established contact with her? And if so, what are some of the ideas that you have bounced off with her as it relates to executing that particular plan of establishing a strong relationship with the executive MBAs?
I honestly have not yet, and kind of the executive MBA thing came from talking to one of the part-timers. It wasn't that long ago, and he brought that up, and he said he really thinks that's something that we could leverage. And so I haven't really had time, but I'm thinking simple things can be done. Offering the olive branch, take 2 minutes, before their class, clear it with the professor, get someone from a club, maybe one a week, and you say, I'm part of the finance society. This is what we do. Any of you guys are involved, but maybe have you guys speak one day. Simple things like this can be done that just extend an olive branch, and you'll be amazed how much things open up.
As far as me?
You know my answer to that.
So far as no right now, if I remember correctly. So Cathy, you're up.
I'm so sorry I'm not coming, but I have more important things to do. Listen to my breakdown, okay? I'm going to talk to my professor tomorrow about his connections with companies and organizations in New York City. He would like to help all of us here to get more guest speakers, information sections, and maybe more opportunities from outside forum. I think that's a good reason for me not attending to work today.
Myron, I'll be there, Myron.
Lipper is disappointed by me.
I have a couple of things. First of all, thank you very much for actually giving us an explanation as to why not, because you're the first person to do that.
I'm so sorry.